And we get another FMV scene, which just shows Kyle running away from war things. And that's about it. And now we're in the second level of the factory. It's more or less the same, except now we have these alarms, which you shoot down the monitors for. The alarms, I believe, set up barriers in certain spots that hinder your progress, so you have to destroy the alarms. Otherwise, I guess there's a security lockdown that will prevent Kyle from going to places. Oh, one useful thing with grenades when you're on a ladder, because you can't aim down when you're on a ladder with your gun, you can just drop grenades onto Terminators, which is quite useful. And now we have a power-up for our gun, which makes our shots larger and more powerful. Those red things there were the barriers that I mentioned earlier. If there's an alarm going on, it'll go up and you can't pass it. And there are some barriers that alternate between going off and on, so you have to time jumping through them. I did mention earlier that Angel Halo did give me this game, but this was actually among some other games he gave me from his shop that he went to, where he picked up a bunch of Sega CD games, because, well, I'm pretty much the token Sega CD guy of the group. Among this game were Heart of the Alien, which is Out of This World 1 and 2. Out of This World 1 being a cult favorite among some gamers. But then there's stuff like Microcosm, which I did get signed by Spoonie, by the way, at Con Bravo. Corpse Killer, and Slam City. Actually, I have yet to even play Slam City. I'm deathly afraid of that game because of bad FMVs. Oh yeah, and that ladder down there is where you can find another one-up. There's actually quite a few extra lives and things hidden around. The level design is actually pretty good in that way. It rewards you for a lot of exploration. And these guys on turrets going down this elevator, I don't really have a strategy for avoiding them. Just my best advice is just take them out as quickly as you can. Because normally when you approach them on the ground level, those giant turrets, ground turrets, you can just duck to avoid their shots and just shoot at them. But because you're on an elevator, you're going down, you're going to get hit regardless. Unless you, I don't know, maybe jump or something. Like I said, I don't really have a strategy. That there worked, because I guess if you maybe just stay ducked and take the least amount of damage as you can, anyway. And there's more tubes you can go up to in this level as well, some of which can lead to some extra items and some one-ups and things like that. You wouldn't think to have gone up the tubes, because it seems like they're just part of the, graphics, but I actually found that out during one time when I was streaming the game. That just threw me off. But I don't know, it's kind of a neat little thing. I like how there are Terminators that are like, based off of the Arnold skin, basically. Because they're mainly just used for like infiltration and things like that. To go back in time and to infiltrate humans and stuff like that. At least that's pretty much what they're doing. But most of the enemies you do encounter are just the standard, metal robots. But I find it funny that they use the biological cyborgs in battle too. And here we have the time portal, and this is a boss, which is the Terminator who can somehow warp around and stuff. I don't really know how this is possible for him to do, but the best advice I can just give is just avoid as much as you can, jump around, move around as much, but don't fall, and if you do that, you win, and you go on to the next stage. Okay, and now we have successfully gone to the past. Thankfully, we won't have to play as naked Kyle Reese here. Skip ahead of the movie a bit later, and Kyle Reese gets the shotgun from the police. Okay, just put on your trench coat and look non-conspicuous. Yep, okay, look non-conspicuous. Yep, I'm totally non-conspicuous. Turn up the coat collar. Yep, non-conspicuous. Dum-da-dum-da-dum. Okay, now that we're in the past, we're on the street level. Kyle Reese's shotgun pretty much acts just like his assault rifle. And there are lots of street gang members and all those other people that we can just run around and kill on a spree here. Well, you know, game logic. And right away at the beginning, you have a power-up that pretty much makes your shotgun into an assault rifle here. Which is pretty amusing, but hey, we gotta keep it consistent. Even in the past, like humans, they can take quite a few hits. Like, they don't take as much hits as the Terminators, but they can still take a fair amount of damage. Like, it takes at least 6 hits or something from the gun to kill him, and that was pretty smart of me to just jump down there. And we have another flak vest here. I actually read the manual. They're actually called flak vests, but it's pretty much just an invulnerability shield for a brief time. Oh, and one thing I should mention about those lifts, if you go under them, because if you jump down accidentally, they'll come back down, but if you're accidentally under them, they can kill you instantly. I found that out during streaming this game, if any of you even bothered to watch the stream highlight videos, or my Let's Plays for that matter. Okay, I'm not gonna gripe, but it's just something I just want to do, you know, just to fill some time while I'm working on reviews. And here I'm having trouble with jumping for some reason. Mostly with just jumping off the ledges for some reason. Because when I'm running and jumping, sometimes I just run right off the cliff, pretty much. I'm not sure if it's because I was playing this on an LCD TV, and if that has input lag, or if it's just the game, or if it's my controller. There could be lots of variations like that. Because I remember having some similar difficulties with Sparkster on the Genesis. Remember with my lack of blocking? Oh, and this part pretty much proved that I was jumping pretty badly here. With the ladders, you can just press in direction and jump off of. The only problem is that they don't handle the way you would think you would. Like, Kyle's reach is not very good. You have to pretty much have his entire sprite over the ladder for him to grab onto it. Because even if it's just like his upper half that touches the ladder, you won't get it. And I skip ahead because I took way too long trying to get these jumps down. But you basically just have to get down towards the bottom of the ladders. That way you can jump over and successfully grab the next ladders. But this way is worth it because it lets you up to this upper path where you can grab some more pipe bombs and a 1-up. Yeah, because in this era you have pipe bombs instead of grenades, but they pretty much act exactly like grenades. You know, just as an explosive you can throw. Oh yes, and if you fall from a great height, you can take some fall damage. You don't take very much fall damage though, probably because this is on the easy difficulty. Maybe on the hard difficulties you take more damage from falling, or maybe the greater the fall, the more damage you can take. Where maybe if you even fall from a really, really tall height, you can like die instantly, but I'm not exactly sure. I never really encountered that. So, but just be wary of fall damage if you like fall, you know. And there's lots of fire escapes, and oh, I love doing that. Just chucking pipe bombs or dropping them right on their face. Yeah, that's always fun. Can't go up there, but we're getting shot at, and can't really aim up to get him because you can't really aim diagonally up while standing still. So You can aim straight up while standing still, but you can only move while shooting diagonally up. And just exploring every little nook and cranny to get some pipe bombs in. Ah! The police are after us too, even though we just arrived. Weird. Well, then again, we are just running around killing indiscriminately all these street punks, so... there are pretty much just like 3 types of human enemies. There's the red-headed punks that shoot at you with guns. There's the Mohawk Molotov cocktail guys. There's this other guy later on where he doesn't look like he's an enemy. Like he just some regular citizen, but then he throws knives at you and stuff. I forget if there's any other types of enemies. Oh yeah, there was those motorcycle guys earlier, which you can just shoot at them and they'll just instantly, you know, poof, explode, which is pretty funny. And I'm having some more platforming fail here, which is always fun. But it's pretty much more of my fault than the game's, because the platforming in this game, as I said before, is quite good for what it is. So it could just be, you know, a slight control delay or something like that that I'm having through playing this TV, because it's not a delay through my recording software. And chuck a grenade at your feet there. Or a pipe bomb, sorry. Well, explosive, whatever. They pretty much act the same way. And we get another one-up. There's actually quite a few extra lives in this game, which I want to say I don't really need, but the last stage gave me some problems, but we're obviously not there yet. And there's a helicopter spotlight earlier, which is foreshadowing something later on. Yeah, I pretty much just like to shoot while running regardless, because you never know when you'll run into enemies, pretty much. Unless you perfectly memorize the levels. And that's that level done. So we just killed a bunch of people. Yay! But they're all street punks, so it's okay. And we did all that just so we can go to the phone booth. Kyrie sure is a busy guy. So yeah, if you don't remember the movie, he's trying to find Sarah Connor. And now we're in the second street level, which takes place more on the rooftops. These inclines here are actually pretty slippery for whatever reason. I'm not sure how the physics work in that, but basically any 45-degree angle like that, Kyle will start sliding back down, which makes it a little tricky when you got stuff like enemies everywhere like that, but it's not too bad really. Man, like, what are all these guys doing up here on the rooftops anyway? I mean, like, I don't really know how street gangs or anything work, or just generic punks or whatever, but... And then you got all these dilapidated buildings and signs pointing to bar, even though there is no bars up here. Oh, the ridiculousness of video games. Wouldn't have it any other way. Especially when it's a movie adaptation that makes things even more a bit sillier when you think about it in the context of the movie. Oh yeah, and like I said earlier, Calarius has no invulnerability frames, which means even if humans get up to you, they can still kind of hurt you just by touching you. So just be careful of that. Pretty much just doing the same strategy with the Terminators pretty much applies here. Well, they are slightly different because they can throw stuff and some enemies do different things other than just shoot you. Like this guy here that wouldn't stop shooting me and I had to throw a pipe bomb at him. And there's some pipe bombs on top of this thing. Now, I think there's more pipe bombs or one-ups or something, like if you jump across some things like that, but I don't remember where it was in this game. Oh well. I'm not going for every single item in this game. I'm just sort of just getting them as I go and what ones I remember, essentially. And of course, the fact that I'm playing this game on easy should tell you that I'm no expert at this game. I don't even know if you can shoot through that straight up. one nice thing about this game is it does give you a lot of explosives, which come in very handy against some enemies during some situations where you can't exactly aim at them. Which I think the game did on purpose, design-wise. That way it forced you to be more strategic with your like explosive throwing and stuff like that, which I do actually like. It's not just mindless, you know, shooting like, say, Contra. Not that I'm saying Contra's bad, of course. It's just that Contra's design is more focused on, you know, avoiding getting killed, and while this game is more, you know, this has more leniency, but it's a bit more strategic in its actual shooting instead of, like, you know, just platforming and shooting. But I don't know what I'm rambling about at this point, really. And if we go here, we encounter the helicopter. Now, according to the manual, the Terminator took control of the helicopter and is after you, but I find that, I don't think that happened in the movie, because I know that happened in Terminator 2, but not Terminator 1, if I remember correctly. And, oh yeah, that guy can push you off and die. But if you get over here and, yeah, that can happen. Normally the propeller blades from the rear can instantly kill you if you try to climb the ladder up to avoid it, but if you throw enough explosives and shoot it from that weird strategy I did before, you can destroy it and beat the level. So, yeah. Okay, on to the next stage.